Good morning. Let's try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we are all awake. We've all had our good brain fuel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and we are ready to learn something so fun and so awesome. But before we do, I have a question, okay? I want to see, by a show of hands, who has a pet? Anybody? Has anybody ever trained their pet to do something really cool, like a trick? Or something extraordinary? That just means super awesome, right? Okay, well listen. Do you know that, Fan, what kind of dog do you have? Or what kind of pet do you have?
A dog.
A dog. So dogs can be trained. What else can we train? What other kind of animals?
Cat.
Cats, Levi, yes.
A rabbit.
You could train a rabbit. I bet you probably could. Maybe to eat a little carrot out of your hand. Well, listen, I have a book that we are going to read today. You can put your hands down, okay? I've got a book that we're going to read today, and I love it because it's going to help us identify. Now, what is this?
Flashlight.
And flashlights help shine light in the dark, right?
Yeah.
But this flashlight is going to be my special visual today because it's going to help us identify, that means just to show or highlight some very important parts of a story, okay? We're going to be learning about 3 parts of a story: the character, setting, and then the major, bless you, the major events of a story, okay? So before we start, I want everybody to echo our I can statement. Ready? I can.
I can.
Tell the characters.
Characters.
Oh, let's try that again. I can. Tell the characters. Setting. And major events. In a story. Very good. Okay. So now, my favorite book that's going to help us identify, right? Identify. Can you hold my flashlight for me and help me identify when we need that? Okay. This book is called Duck on a Bike, and it is by David Shannon. So David Shannon is the author and the illustrator, right? And who remembers what the author does? Ben.
He writes the word.
He writes the word, and Sutton, what does the illustrator do?
Like a picture.
He draws the pictures, that's right. And David Shannon writes the words and drew the pictures for this book, okay? So here we go. Duck on a bike. For Emma, quack. What is this page called? Who remembers? It's got the title on it. Finley.
The title page.
The title page. Very good. Okay. Everybody settle down and lean in and let's listen to this story. One day down on the farm, Duck got a wild idea. I bet I could ride a bike, he thought. He waddled over to where the boy parked his bike, climbed on, and began to ride. At first, he rode very slowly and wobbled a lot, but it was fun. Duck rode past Cow and waved to her. "Hello, Cow," said Duck. "Moo," said Cow. But what she thought was, a duck on a bike? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Yes. Then Duck rode past Sheep. "Hello, Sheep," said Duck. "Bye," said Sheep. But what she really thought was, he's going to hurt himself if he's not careful, because he's not holding on with both hands. We don't do that, do we? Oh, be careful. Duck was riding better now. He rode past Dog. Very good. "Hello, Dog," said Duck. "Woof," said Dog. But what he thought was, that's a mighty neat trick. Then Duck rode past Cat. "Hello, Cat," said Duck. "Meow," said Cat. But what she really thought was, I wouldn't waste my time riding a bike. What's she doing? She's cleaning herself, right? And her napping, maybe?
That looks like my cat.
Duck pedaled a little faster now. He rode past Horse. "Hello, Horse," said Duck. George Chicken. So you're right, Nehemiah. Hello, Chicken, said Duck. Cluck, cluck, said Chicken. But what she thought was, watch where you're going, Duck. Because he almost ran her over. Then Duck rode past Goat. Hello, Goat, said Duck. Ma, said Goat. But what he thought was, I'd like to eat that bite. What is he eating right now? Garbage. Yeah, so that bite probably would.
Goats don't eat trash.
Yeah,
they eat grass.
Well, yeah, but they kind of eat garbage and stuff like that too. Ducks, or they chew on it.
Yeah.
Duck stood on the seat and rode past Pig and Pig. So not just one pig, but Pig and Pig. Hello, Pig, said Duck. Oink, said Pig and Pig. But what they thought was, Duck is such a show-off. Doing all those tricks. Then Duck rode no hands past Mouse. Hello, Mouse, said Duck. Sweet, said Mouse. But what he thought was, I wish I could ride a bike like Duck.
But he's too tiny to reach it.
Maybe there's a tiny one. We'll see. Suddenly, a whole bunch of kids came down the road on their bikes. Whoosh! They were in such a hurry, they didn't even see Duck. They parked their bikes by the house and they went inside. So did those kids see the duck?
No. Where's the duck?
It's not in this picture. They're so busy.
And then there.
Are there any words on this page?
No.
No, but look at the picture.
Look,
they are all looking. What do you think they are looking at, Finley?
a bike.
Finley.
The duck in the bike.
Maybe.
On the bike. Bikes.
The bikes. Remember, because the kids went inside the house.
They're in danger.
Oh, this page is so silly.
No, they're all on bikes. Is Mouse riding one?
Now, all of the animals had bikes. Look, he's on the handlebars. They rode around and around the barnyard. This is fun, they all said. Good idea,
How's
Duck.
the horse riding it? How's the cat riding it?
How was the duck riding it? I don't know.
How's Bunny Mouse riding it? Wait, Bunny Mouse is the only one.
Okay, let's get on with the story. Hold on. Listen, shh. Then they put the bikes back by the house, and no one knew on that afternoon there had been a cow, a sheep, a dog, a cat, a horse, a chicken, a goat, 2 pigs, a mouse, and a duck on a bike. Ran out of feet.
Mouse don't know how to ride a bike.
The end.
That was really good. It was really good. And my big green triangle.
Oh, look, I'm stuck on myself. Yeah.
But if Mouse was the only one who
Okay.
didn't do it.
So, I love this book because it helps me identify, right? You've still got my flashlight. It's going to help me identify the character, setting, and major events of a story, okay?
That was fun.
So, it was funny. If you like this book, can you give me a big thumbs up? Thumbs up. If you liked it?
Everybody
Okay.
liked it.
I know. So, now what I want you to do is, I want you to turn and face my Promethean board, and we're going to learn a little bit about the character, setting, and major events of a story. Because boys and girls, that is going to be, thank you, that is going to be our focus. Get that right. There we go. That is going to be our focus today for our lesson, is learning about the character, setting, and major events of a story. Oh, there it goes. Yes. Okay. And like I said, I love this book because it does such a great job with that, okay? So before we talk a little bit about this book, I want everybody to look at my anchor chart that I've got up here, okay? Now, this anchor chart is going to show my term, information, and picture. T-I-P. T-I-P. That sounds familiar. Tip. Have we used that before, a tip chart? When we did our math lesson, right? Yes, so if you remember back from your math lesson that we did, the term, information, and picture, it's going to list all of our good terms that we are going to need to learn about or identify, right? Identify for our lesson. So the first one that we are going to identify is going to be the character.
Blue.
It went a little blue, that's okay. And,
Now green.
oh, it's fine. It's totally okay. So, I've got a couple little flashlights, and I'm going to need some help from my friends. Liam, I'm going to give you one. And Kaden, I'm going to give you the other one. Now, whenever I say identify, I need my friends with flashlights to identify or highlight the term, okay? So you're just going to hold it up at the screen. Everybody else, you can pretend to help them to identify. And then some people are going to have some fancy binoculars. So who's going to have binoculars? Ooh, I love it. Okay, who's going to have a flashlight? Very cool. Okay.
You already have it.
Oh, I know. Okay, so now let's look at my chart. So, some of these words probably sound pretty familiar. And you know what, guys? 127 days now into school. That's okay, because we've been reading lots of stories and we've been learning about the character. So, can you help me identify the character? And I know that this word says character because what letter? What letter says C? That's right. And if I'm talking about the character, setting, or major events, I can see that this word is going to start with a C. So a character is just the person in a story. Now, let me ask you, can characters be animals?
Yes.
Yes, because in our book, guess what?
He's a character.
Yeah, who is the character?
A duck.
The duck, and a duck isn't a person, he's an animal. So characters can be an animal or a creature, okay? So a character is who or what the story is about. And a lot of times characters are going to think, they're going to feel, they're going to be doing stuff in our story. Now, did our character do something in the story?
Yes.
Did he think?
Yes.
Yeah, they were thinking, this is fun, okay? So, in order to help me remember a character, remember, that's okay. Oh, she's just getting back because I'm kind of walking through here. So a character can be a person, an animal, or a creature. So to help me remember what a character is, would I need to, Kaden, would I need to draw like a house or a person? What would be a better picture? A house or a person for character?
A person.
A person, that's right. And I'm not going to sit here and waste our time drawing a person. I am just going to draw just a cute little stick person, right? Yep. Is that a good picture of a character?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to help me. But remember, characters can also be people or animals or creatures, right? Now, the next word that we're going to look at is setting. Setting. Can you help me identify which word says setting? Remember, setting is going to make a sound, right? Setting. Everybody point. Yes, help me identify. Setting, very good. Setting, that is the word setting. And the setting of the story is just where or when the story takes place. I'm going to say that again because that's really tricky. So eyeballs on me. The setting is where or when, Philip, the story takes place. Now, a lot of times when we think about the setting, guys, we think about just the location, okay? So in our book, the setting was where? A farm, right? Can you help me identify the setting in my book? Help me. Where's my binoculars? Very good, very good. Yep, the setting is a farm. But sometimes, boys and girls, the setting can also be the time of day. So, let me give you an example. I know that's pretty confusing, so I want everybody to put on their thinking caps. Do that for me. I want you to close your eyes and pretend that you're hiking in the woods, okay? It's a beautiful day, hiking in a forest. You see flowers, birds are flying. Oh, it's so nice. You're so happy. Everything is bright and sunny. Something magical could happen at any time, right? So you think you'll just lay down and take a nap. Okay. So everybody's laying down taking a nap. Oh, but then you wake up from your nap. It's nighttime. It's very dark. I don't see any more butterflies or birds. In fact, I see some spooky shadows from the trees. Does your setting feel a little different? Is it a little spookier? Yeah, it's not so bright and cheerful anymore. Okay, you can open up your eyes now. So that is a good example of how, if you think about the forest, it can be the forest in the daytime or a forest at night, okay? So remember, guys, the important thing to remember about the setting, let's see this. I'm going to switch it up. I need Harper to help me identify, and I need Juliet's going to help me identify. So the setting of the story is where or when the story takes place, okay? So it can be the location, the time of day, and when you get a little bit older, you'll be talking about it, how it can also be like the period in time. So you think way back when, a long, long, long time ago, okay? But the setting for this story was where?
At a farm.
At the farm, right? And the character is?
The dog.
Now we know the character, setting, and the main event of this story. We just need to figure out the major event. Well, let me read to you. Oh, we didn't draw a picture. Let's draw a picture real quick for the setting. So to help remember the setting, I'm going to draw, because like we said, it can be where. So I'm going to draw a little house, where, or when, right? So I'm going to draw a house and a little moon. So that's just going to be a good little picture to help remind us that the setting can be a place or a time of day, right? Now, let's talk about the major events, because in this story, we've got the character, right? The duck. Were there other characters too? Yeah. Who were the other characters, Dan?
The kids.
The kids. Who else?
The cow.
The cow, right? Can you identify that character for me? Oh, good job, Juliet. Yes. There were lots and lots of other little animals in here, right? Yes. Now, the major events are just the things that happen in the story. So, think back to this story. Major events drive the storyline forward, and all that means is they just keep helping push and push and push the story along, okay? They help keep the story moving. So, major events, Finley, are going to be memorable. I want you to think back to this story that I just read. What was a major event that happened in this story?
Duck riding a bike.
The duck was riding a bike. Is that what you were going to say? Yes. Yes. Alexis. Is that what you were going to say? Were you just thinking about it so good? Yeah. The duck riding a bike. So major events. Now, was the duck riding a bike memorable, Bradley? Was it memorable? Yeah. Right? Because you could remember, oh, duck on a bike. A duck is riding a bike. That's pretty memorable. Memorable just means you think back to it. So if I think back to the story that we just read, what's the one thing that stuck out in my mind? Amelia. What was a major event? What was the one thing? Juliet already said it. What was one thing that stuck out in your mind about this story? Think about it. I'll come back to you. Finley.
The duck was riding a bike.
The duck was riding a bike. So that's a major event in this story, right? Now, also, was the other animals riding a bike?
Yes.
When they hopped on? Yeah, that was pretty silly too, right? So, in order to help us remember major events, I'm going to think of the big light bulb idea that just goes off in my head. So, for the picture, I'm going to draw just I'm just going to draw kind of a light bulb. Like, a light bulb is going off. So that way, when I think back to a major event, that's going to be my light bulb moment, right? My flashlight. Everybody got your binoculars on, or your flashlight. That's going to be my major event, okay, guys? Now, parts of becoming good readers is we are going to put this into practice really, really quick. So, we just read my great book, Duck on a Bike. Can I have my flashlight, Spike? Everybody did a great job with their binoculars. You are all becoming very good readers. I didn't mention this, but part of becoming a good reader is also being a good listener. And I've got some great listeners today. Thank you for that. Now, I am going to let you all watch something. Because in my book, a duck was riding a bike, right? That's pretty silly. But I wonder, could something like this happen in real life? Maybe. I don't know. Well, listen, that was... Guys, listen, that was pretty extraordinary. Keep looking at this. That was pretty extraordinary, our duck riding the bike. But I've got a video that we're going to look at. It's only a minute. It's not very long. Of a duck, a real live duck, doing something extraordinary, okay? So, I want you to watch this because after this video, boys and girls, we are all going to be trying to identify, right? Or, with my flashlight, identify the character, setting, and major events of a story. Hold on 1 second, okay? So, make sure you are paying attention. Remember, part of being a good, put your hand down, baby. Hold on 1 second. Part of being a good reader is also being a good listener. So, I need everybody to try to identify, remember, you're trying to identify the character, setting, and major events right here, okay? Now this is real life. This isn't a cartoon, okay? This is really happening.
Real life.
Careful attention, good readers. Look at them. Pretty cool, huh? Right? Okay, so listen. I heard some great questions. How do they know where to walk?
They've been trained.
Yes, they have been trained. Just like you train your dog at home to do tricks, or your bunny at home to eat carrots out of your hands. Or your cat, listen, they have been trained. So, now, knowing what we know about a character, setting, and major events in a story, we have identified them in our book, right? Real quickly, let me model this again, just to remind you real quick. Hold on 1 second, baby. Aubrey, hold on 1 second. So, let's look back to the story real quick. Remember, if we're identifying in this story, the character would be what, everybody? The duck. Where would the setting or the place be? The farm. Very good. And what is the major event in this story?
A duck riding a bike.
A duck riding a bike. I know that because if I think back, hold on, hands down, listen real quick, and then you're going to get to practice. If you think back to a character, remember a character is the person, the animal, or the creature that the story is about. This story is about a duck. The setting is where the story takes place or when. And I remember from my tip chart, the setting in this story is a farm. And then the major event is what happened, Liam. And I remember back from this story what happened. What happened, everybody? The duck was riding a bike. Now, do you think that you can use my video, and I'll play it again while you're working, to tiptoe back? Hold on. You are going to be trying to decide the character. Remember, this word says character, setting, and the major events Okay? Try to write the word, and then if you want to, if you have time, you can draw a picture. You don't have to. Try to write the word, sound it out, use kid spelling, quietly tiptoe back to the rug, and don't worry if you, back to your chair, and if you need help, I'm going to be doing it up here on the board together too. So just very quickly, just take a minute, and then we're going to practice saying some of this, okay? You just need a pencil, just a pencil. So you are trying to find the character, setting, and major event. While you are getting that out, I'm going to play this video one more time for you. So be thinking in this video, who or what, remember, because it could be an animal. What is the character of this video? Who or what is this video about? What is the setting? Where is this video taking place? If you're not sure, just take a guess. And then what is the major event? What is happening in this video? What's the main thing that you're going to, when you think back to this video, just think, oh, I remember this video because something was doing something. Take a second. Start writing. Kids spell. We'll talk about this in a second. I'm going to give everybody some opportunities. Okay. Now, while you are doing that, I'm going to be doing it up here too. If you take a moment and try to do it yourself, but kids spell, sound it out, do your best. I want to see what you can do.
The spelter Aubrey really is. Tell you that duck is even riding the bike with no training wheels.
Oh, is that what she was? Oh, thank you. Thank you for being so patient. Duck did not have training wheels. Wow. Very intuitive of you, Aubrey. Very good job. Okay, so take a moment, guys. I want you to take a moment and do this, but I'm also going to be doing it up here. So I'm thinking back the character. What was that video about? Duck. I'll grab you one, Philip. Duck. Don't have a pencil here. Where's Kim's pencil?
But I can't find
Let you borrow this pencil. Okay. A duck. The setting. That setting wasn't a farm. It was inside in a lobby. Maybe it was a hotel. It's a hotel. So think about where that was taking place. You don't have to copy one out. Maybe you thought it was taking place somewhere else. That's just my thoughts. What happened? Whenever you're done, give me a thumbs up, and then I'll have a few friends read what they've written, guys. I really want you to practice using character setting and major events in a sentence, okay? Remember, we're writing sentences because I see uppercase letters at the beginning and I see a period at the end, so I'm writing sentences. How about this? How about we do the first one together? Who would like to read their sentence that they have for character? Yes, ma'am. Duck. Okay, so you think it was a duck. Can you read this sentence for me, Tegan? The, hold on, shh, Tegan, the character is a duck. Very good. Okay, so let's all try that together, okay? So Tegan said that the character was a duck. Is she correct?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. So let's all read this sentence together. Ready? The character is a duck. It was a duck. It was actually more than one. It was a few ducks. So the characters were ducks, right? That video was about ducks.
It was so funny.
It was so funny, wasn't it? Okay, great job, guys. Now, the next word that we're going to be talking about is the setting. So this says the setting is blank. The setting is blank. Rowan, where did you think that setting was?
A hotel.
It was a hotel. It was actually the Peabody Hotel in Tennessee. Memphis, I believe, in Tennessee. And my sister has been there and she has seen that and she said it is the silliest thing ever. It happens real life. In real life. So, everybody, that you are correct, Rowan. It is a hotel. Great job. Let's all read this together. Everybody. The setting is a hotel. It is a hotel. Fun fact, those ducks do that every single day, twice a day, on schedule, and they have been for years and years and years. So cool. Now, the major event, this says the major event is blank. What was the major event in that video that we watched? What happened? What were those ducks doing at the hotel?
The ducks was swimming in that little.
But what did they do?
They were swimming.
I'm hearing a lot of good suggestions, but I need to see some hands. Amelia.
They were walking in the water.
So they walked to the water. Juliet, do you want to add to that? They were swimming. Okay, so those ducks actually got on an elevator. And then, yes, that ding, did you hear that ding at the beginning? Ding, they got on an elevator. Then they got off the elevator. Then they walked in the hotel lobby all by themselves. And then they got into the fountain. So those ducks,
How did they? It's like
they were trained. So the major event is the ducks. What do we want to say? The ducks walked to the water.
How about like the ducks were walking to the fountain?
The ducks walked. Oh, I'm running out of room. To the fountain. Guys, and if you don't want to write all of this, guess what? I left you some room so you can draw a picture, okay? Whatever you need to do to express to me the character, setting, or the major events. Now, does everybody have a pretty good idea of what we're doing today for our lesson?
Yes.
Okay, little duckies. So look, eyes on me. This is what we're about to do. We are about to break into some small groups, and everybody's going to get an opportunity to practice and do a couple different things. I'm going to show you what you'll be doing, okay? Lots and lots and lots of fun. Some of my friends are going to be playing, well, everybody's going to be playing a game. It's going to be super duper fun, but we're going to practice identifying, right? Let me see you. Identifying the character, setting, and major event. Say it with me. Identifying the character, setting, and major events. That's right. So, everybody can go ahead and finish up with this, and then when you are done, you can put your pencil down, and we'll go ahead and we'll break into our small groups, okay? But while you are doing, oh, hold on, listen. I'm going to give some instructions really quick. While you're finishing up doing that, if you're still writing, that's okay. Let me really quickly tell you, or just kind of show you what you're going to be doing. So when you get to your area, you'll know exactly what you're going to be doing. How have I done with myself? I know, silly little spell trick. It happens all the time. Okay, so I have, y'all done with this? I'm going to flip this over for a second. setting and there's a major events in here, okay? So for instance, if I were to roll this dice and it landed on this, what is that?
A farm.
A farm. Is that a character setting or a major event? Is it a farm? Is the farm a location, a place? It's a setting, right? Because a farm is a place, right? It's not a person and it doesn't do anything. It's a place, right? So that would be an example of us identifying the setting, okay? So some of you are going to be rolling dice and then you are going to be finding, I have no clue what I've done. Oh, here it is. There it goes. We're going to be playing a flashlight game. So you're going to identify the character, setting, and then a major event. So Mario in a jungle is going fishing. So silly. So we've got dice, we've got spinners, we've got some books. It's going to be so much fun. Everybody get